Hi, everyone. This is Cynthia Greenawalt, also known as the Amygdala Wrangler. Yes, brain science, quantum physics, those are part of my favorite things. And it's so much fun because every time I'm with people, I'm always talking about what are those moments, what are those examples of when we can see in another or that we can then see in ourselves, where we get stopped by the limitations of the amygdala, that part of our brain that wants us to stay comfortable, stay inside the predictable, and then, wow, maybe we're beyond what we know we can be. So I was working with one of my clients just this past week, and we're creating this huge project. He's got these big promises and bold initiatives, and we started backing up from the future where he would need to be at that point in the month. And it was literally the 14th of the month that we were talking, and I said, okay, so on your promise of 40 by the 20th of the month, where are you? And we're talking 40 seeds planted, conversations, activations with people that were influencers on his resource list. He's like, oh, I'm at 0. So at 14th of the month, we were at 0. And at that point, it was really, 40 in 20 days, that's 2 a day. And we're at, I think that would have been like 28 by that point, and we were at 0. And I could just see the amygdala, like, oh. Not only was the amygdala, like, had him by the neck at that moment when we were on Zoom, what I realized is the amygdala had been running the show for those entire 14 days of the month. And that's the power, by the way, of an accountability partner. So whether you have a coach you're working with, I work with a coach so that I have an accountability partner. Sometimes we have a mastermind group that can be our space. And in that moment, Max, we're going to call him, looks at me, and you could tell he wanted to hide. I said, hey, it's all perfect. That's what the amygdala does. It just takes us out. It has us forget our promises. And then I could see this moment where it was like, should I bail on the game? And that's also an option. So there's either bailing on the game, like, let me just check out my amygdala one. Or there was this moment like, well, there's still time to play before this date that we'd given ourselves. He says, I'm going to go for it. It was so profound because in that moment, it was like I watched the human soul wrangle the amygdala. And who was victorious was the spirit, the human spirit of this man, Max. It was so fulfilling. And we have that happen to ourselves when we have that moment of, I won. Now, it's not that the amygdala is going away forever. It probably came back 10 more times over the next 24 hours. But that's what it looks like, just being kind of face to face with the amygdala, owning it either with an accountability partner, a coach, a mastermind group where we can sort of come clean, get in touch with what's really going on. And then his vision and his promise got present. So with that, if you have a moment where you wrangled and you were victorious, please post that below. These are the fun conversations we learn from each other. Until then, until next time, I want you to consider you are bigger than you know yourself to be.